They just have a lovely time. We take a break to have a nice fuck.
What? Are you not stopping and fucking every now and then?
Hello and welcome to another episode of Cheap Smut. My name is Katie Mizell.
And my name is Max Joy.
And this is a podcast that is recording in the daylight again. I'm so confused. How are you, Max?
Also confused. A little under the weather.
Yeah.
You might be able to hear it in my voice. My voice is a little tired, so it might sound a little bit different today. I'm going to try and not talk with the same enthusiasm and forcefulness. Plus, I had a conversation, like an hour plus long conversation on the phone today with my dear friend Rob. And whenever I talk to him, I'm just going nonstop. So my voice is a little tired. But I am otherwise well. I mentioned last episode that I was going to be doing comedy.
Yes.
Have a date.
Yes. Monday,
October 13th. Remember the day, because I will be up at... now I'm saying this like you're going to be able to show up, but I'm doing comedy in East Lansing on the campus of MSU at an open mic.
Yeah.
On Monday the 13th. So if somehow you're hearing this between 8 p.m. Monday, October 13th, 2025, and the time this releases, and you're nearby, come on by and be like, oh, that's Max.
Yeah.
Okay. I know we have some listeners in the general vicinity.
We do. We have some local listeners.
So if you hear this between midnight and 8 p.m., come see me.
Stop on by.
Yeah.
Crunchies.
Crunchies in East Lansing, home of the legendary. We had a mutual friend, Jesse, who used to work there many years ago and said that the Long Island iced teas there would like blind you.
Yeah.
Like turpentine.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Campus bars. Whoo.
Anyway, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm quite well. The reason why we are recording right now is because it's the best time to do it before I leave for the weekend.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. So by tomorrow afternoon, approximately this time, hopefully I'll be rolling on into my little sister's bachelorette party.
That's right.
Spending the weekend with my sister and a bunch of my cousins and her friends, some of whom I don't know yet, so I'll get to meet them, and just tearing up the town of Tawas, Michigan. They are not fucking ready for us.
No, they are not.
They never are, though. This is a tradition in my family, is bachelorette parties up north and like just tearing through a small town for a weekend. I've never done it with the family before. Yeah. I've never had the opportunity to go to one. So I'm like, yes.
And then I'm going to be home with the kids.
Yes, you are.
And today, we're recording this on Thursday. I'm taking today and tomorrow off. I have a 4-day weekend just because we saw this on the calendar. And I was like, hey, why don't I just take Thursday and Friday off? Our daughter doesn't have preschool on Fridays. And I'll just, take time off. And then it worked out really well because I got that game in the mail, the Pro Baseball Spirits, the Japanese baseball game that I've been wanting to play for a long time. So I'll be able to play that. And I'm going to get to hang out with them all weekend. But then you were like, hey, man, let's race. But this is how we're racing. So right before I hit record, Katie and I both gobbled what we consider to be a heroic amount of edibles.
Yes.
We're not. I'm not comfortable saying it.
Oh, how much it is?
Yeah. I'm
not going to talk about how many milligrams we just took, but we each took the same amount right before record, and we're going to see what happens.
So we're going to see if we can get to the end of this before just completely shitting the bed. Unless you worry. We are professional potheads.
Oh my God.
It should be okay. So with all that in mind, remember, we're on the clock. Let's go.
Let's go. So this week, this time is so hard to think about anyway.
The gum.
Oh no, it started early. No, time has been fucking with my head for days. This time around, I read The Flower Queen by Phoenix Lynn. Phoenix spelled Phenix.
Friend of the show.
Phoenix Lynn. So this book is available for $2.99, not available through Kindle Unlimited. You do have to pay that $2.99, and we respect it. And it is $11 if you want to get a print-on-demand paperback. This is Phoenix's first ever published work. And so far, it appears to be her only published work, but the full title of the book is The Flower Queen, parentheses, The Queen's Book 1.
Okay.
So I'm guessing there's going to be more in the future, and that's very exciting. I liked this little world she wrote.
Don't you George R.R. Martin us.
No. Come on, Phoenix.
Book 1. I would just love it if she just named it Book 1 and then just moved on to a completely
new series.
With the intent, there was never any intention.
What did you do? That's so funny.
How could you?
So I found this book through Threads, again, with that call out to please tell me your short books that are full of sex and fun stories. And Phoenix was like, I've got The Flower Queen. I added it to the TBR immediately, mostly because the cover art is gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And then like a week or two later realized, that we know that's Phoenix Lynn, longtime reader and Patreon supporter. So I'm a dotty old woman is what I'm saying at this point. Or I guess I'm just trying to say it's not because she's a patron. It's just because she put it on Threads.
Yeah. We did it.
Be brave and put your shit out there.
We did it after we shut down the Patreon.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We did. So should we do the triple T's?
Yes, please.
Let's go for it. So for our triggers, we have kidnapping, imprisonment, violence, blood, gore, and bones, torture and murder, drugging, on-page panic attacks, sexual harassment of the main characters, survival in harsh environments, gruesome injury of a main character. And in brackets, I just put has no musical numbers because that's also a trigger for me. Thumbelina in my head always has musical numbers.
Well, you buried the lead. This is a Thumbelina retelling.
I know. We would have gotten to that. Sorry. So for our tropes, this is an FMM cis queer romance, Thumbelina retelling, fae, magic, and shifting, survival story, idiots in love, and nursing the injured. And then for our titillations, we have reference to kink and play not depicted on page, explicit on-page sex, including oral sex, vaginal sex, anal sex, and double vaginal penetration, MM, FM, and FMM pairings.
Okay.
So lots of different groups of folks.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a lot of like modularity.
Yes, exactly.
Luckily, these parts are modular.
It's a modular throuple.
Okay.
So to start, this is a Thumbelina retelling, and you told me the other day that you don't know anything about Thumbelina.
Yeah, it was never, I mean, I'm aware of its existence, but if you were to ask me to like recap it, couldn't tell you.
Yep. I know Thumbelina very well because it was turned into a movie by Don Bluth in 1994, and I watched that movie religiously as a child. Yep. I know the entire story. That movie is a pretty faithful adaptation of the original Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale, and so is this book. Mostly you're going to see a lot of the same beats, a lot of the same exact moments happening with slightly different characterization around it. So the story of Thumbelina starts with a witch who lives alone in a cottage in the woods, but who desperately wants to have a child. And through magic, she is blessed with a child who is born out of a tulip. And she leans down and kisses this flower, and when it blooms, there's a little girl inside, approximately the size of her thumb. Okay. And she raises this girl into a beautiful young woman, and eventually she goes on a bunch of adventures, yada, yada, yada. She meets people and does things. It's a great story.
But she's thumb-sized.
She's itty-bitty. And Phoenix's story begins much the same way, with a witch named Agnes who lives alone in the woods and wants a child and casts a spell in order to be gifted a child who is small and perfect and about the size of her thumb and sleeps in a walnut shell. And it's adorable, right? At the start of this book, Leena is 20 years old. But unlike the Thumbelina fairy tale, she has been a member of the court of small fae creatures and talking animals that live in this forest since she was a child. They all love her. They know her. She is incredibly beautiful, pale young woman with long silver hair and purple eyes. She is the size of a thumb. Actually, Agnes is the only humanoid creature in this book who you would consider to be of expected size. Everybody else is tiny.
And who's Agnes?
Thumbelina's mother,
That's
the
okay.
witch.
The witch. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Or Leena's mother. Sorry, her name is not Thumbelina. Her name is just Leena. So Leena has lived this peaceful, happy life in the cottage with her mother, amongst the Seelie Court of the Fae. We've talked vaguely about the Seelie and Unseelie courts before. Both are present in this story. But unlike the Hans Christian Andersen story, where she doesn't marry the king of the fairies until the very end, she has been friends with the prince of the fairy realm since they were children. They've been in love for forever. And he has now claimed king through, I'm guessing, line of succession, and they are engaged to be married. She is in an established relationship already at the start of this book. We meet her in the shop of Madame Spider, the seamstress, who is making her like a haute couture ball gown out of spider silk, I assume, and giving her lessons on like queenitude, because Leena's too nice. She needs to be able to command authority, right?
Yeah. You got to have that regal regality.
Yeah, they call it queenitude.
There you go.
And it's perfect. While she's being fitted and taking this queenitude lesson, a butterfly flutters in and whispers in her ear that King Obi would like to see her as soon as she is done here. King Obi is one of our MMCs. I assume it's something like short for Oberon, who has always been king of the fairies. He is the king specifically of the flower fairies in this world. He is a member of the Seelie Court, so I guess it's not good and bad necessarily, but it's like chaotic good versus chaotic neutral or something. He is similarly small. He has brown hair. I believe he's also white. He has green eyes, and he has wings, but his wings are like dragonfly wings. They're a pair of double iridescent, like green and blue wings. Yeah. They retract inside, like with magic, if he doesn't want to have them out, but he usually has them out because he's the king and they're his big kingly wings,
big
right?
Fuck off king wings.
So he and Leena have known each other since childhood. They have loved each other for forever. He has known he is going to marry this woman for as long as he can remember. And now his wedding is finally tomorrow. And he's laying in bed when we first meet him, waiting for her to show up for what is a surreptitious smash before dinner. Like, that's what they're going to do. Show up, do your secret knock. He pulls her into his room because nobody should really see her. It's not that proper for him to be pulling into his rooms in private. And they get to it. Like, they don't have a ton of time. They have to go to dinner pretty soon. Yeah. And they start stripping clothes off, making out. But then a knock on the door stops them. And he's like, I told you not to interrupt me. But unfortunately, these are things that can't wait. Yeah. Lord Sparrow has returned from his journeys, and Dianthe of the Unseelie Court has arrived as a representative for the wedding festivities. Now, Obi has to go and do political shit, kingly duties, and think about, I don't know, old ladies until his hard-on goes away or something. So Obi goes to meet his new guests. Leena goes back to her mother's house for the evening, where they make dinner and they talk specifically about the return of Lord Sparrow. So she, Obi, and Sparrow were a little childhood threesome, attached at the hip. But Sparrow left a few years ago to go on some sort of, I don't know, like vision quest or something. He made it seem like he was looking for something, but he didn't know what it was. He's the brooding one. And and she's had a lot of feelings ever since, because he left without saying goodbye, and that hurt her. That hurt her a lot. Her mom gives her some advice. They chat a little bit more. And then she tells her mother that she has had this persistent feeling all day that she is being watched. And Agnes tells her, it's probably nothing. It's probably just wedding jitters. But she looks out the window just in case to check the garden, and there's nothing out there but butterflies and a toad. So there's nothing going on. After dinner, Leena is going to go out to the toadstool where she and Obi meet to have surreptitious sex. And so after she gets cleaned up, says goodbye to her mother, she walks out towards the toadstool. But before she can get there, she is stopped by that sensation that she is being watched again. She calls out to it and nothing responds, but she suddenly like held fast in place. She's frozen and she can't move. And an incredibly beautiful Unseelie woman is standing in front of her. How do we tell they're Unseelie? I'm not really sure, but
it's very simple. They're just not Seelie. This woman.
They're not Seelie. That's it.
That's
That's how you can tell.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this woman is going to give Leena to the toad that her mother saw in the garden earlier. The toad apparently is a toad shifter named Thad, who is going to take Leena to be his wife. His captive bride.
Yeah.
This happens to Leena like twice. Somebody's just like, I'm gonna marry you, and just takes her away. What the fuck is happening in the Fae realm, guys?
I gotta say, that's very untoad word.
It's boo. So the intention of this Unseelie woman, she says, is to get Leena out of the way because she wants Obi and the throne for herself. And then she's hoisted onto this toad's back and he hops off with her.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Exactly. They hop by the toadstool where Obi is waiting for her, and she calls out for him, but he can't hear her. They're apparently magically cloaked somehow. He can vaguely smell her her perfume, I guess.
So glad that ended with perfume.
I know.
I was like, am I learning something about
No.
Has Katie had a change of heart?
No, I have not.
Perfume.
He can vaguely smell her as they like hop by, but he can't hear her or anything. He just assumes that she's late. She's chronically late, like me, I guess. The toad takes her to his home, which is a hovel on the edge of a small pond that's just inside of the border of the Unseelie kingdom. Thad the toad then shifts into like Toadman Thad. He's sort of like half toad, half guy.
Half toad, half Thad.
Exactly.
Which is really just you square off the top and the bottom of the H and take that middle line out. That's toad. I'm just saying.
Exactly. So he then introduces her to his horrible mother and is like, this is your mother-in-law. It's awful. They say a couple of things. These guys are like, they're like Fae trailer trash, kind of, is how they're
Failer trash.
Failer trash, exactly, is how they're sort of characterized. And you imagine them sort of having like overalls with no shirt on underneath, that kind of thing. Yeah. So after they're done with these introductions to Mama Toad and Thad, her new husband, I guess, he hops her out to a lily pad that's in the middle of the pond. And she starts screaming and crying and begging him not to take her out there. She cries so much that she eventually vomits because she is terrified of water. She's terrified of water. She's teeny tiny.
So she's terrified to begin with, and then water.
Yeah. No, so she's already terrified, and now she's being traumatized. And again, she's teeny tiny, and she can't swim, and she is so scared to be on this lily pad. She doesn't even want to move because it sways back and forth. He's built a little hut, and this is her prison now. This is where she's going to live until she, I guess, complies. I don't really know. She begs him to let her go. She offers him money, etc., and nothing matters. He says, "Hey, look on the bright side. Dianthe just wanted to kill you."
Well, when you put it that way.
Yeah, and then he just fucks off.
Yeah.
Back at the palace, Obi has finally realized that she's not just chronically late. She's actually probably maybe missing this time. He checks with Agnes, who tells him, "Yeah, she left to go and meet you at the appointed time, but she never arrived there. That means that she must have disappeared somewhere in between." Agnes tells him, "Look, she's a big girl. She's a grown up. We can't immediately jump to horrible conclusions. I'll do a little magic and try to find her. You go back to the palace. You got to get married tomorrow, my dude. Get some sleep."
You got shit to do, bro.
Yeah. But the next morning, Agnes sends word through Prince Butterflower of the butterfly shifters. I liked him. He was just a character. He was like a Deus Ex butterfly. He came in and out and needed. I loved him. So she sends word with this butterfly that Leena never came home last night, which concerns Obi, makes him think maybe she has been taken or is otherwise injured or something. So he sends for Sparrow, who is an experienced scout, and has him start a proper search. So this is where we meet Lord Sparrow Goodfellow, who is our other MMC. His exposition is given in like little bursts throughout the book, and it's Mostly because neither Leena nor Obi want to like face the guy head on. There's so much emotional turmoil happening between all of these people that they kind of skirt around him even in their mind. Mm-hmm. And you don't really know who the fuck this guy is. But so I will tell you that Lord Sparrow Goodfellow is a big, brooding, dark-haired sparrow shifter. He has burgundy eyes, which is crazy, my guy.
That is weird to think about.
Yeah, right? And I think he has like tattooed forearms and a couple of other like more hard edges about him. He has wings on his back, like a partial shift when he wants to. They're sparrow wings. Or he turns into a full-on brown sparrow, I assume. He heads off and he tells Obi that he'll find Leena. She's probably not very far, a day or two at most.
Not bad.
Nah.
As the crow flies.
After Sparrow leaves, Dianthe then comes into the throne room. So she is, again, a representative from the Unseelie Kingdom, incredibly beautiful, long black hair, always wears these slinky dark dresses and has this like Morticia Addams kind of beauty about her, but without being, cool.
Right. Just a real C word.
Real C word for real. So she comes into the throne room, like Obi's basically like, go Sparrow, find my love. And then Dianthe comes in and starts talking shit. Like she has no subtlety. She lacks all subtlety. She's like, do you think maybe she just left with that toad? Like on purpose? Yeah, I'm pretty sure she married a hillbilly toad instead of the king of the flower kingdom. Yeah, that makes fucking sense. For sure. For sure, bitch. So he sends her away. Sparrow starts his search by going to Agnes to ask her for information. He then scouts the garden and he speaks with a snail who talks like the sloths from Zootopia.
Very slow.
Yes.
Yeah.
And learns that a toad shifter has been skulking around the area for the last month or so. He flies up then above the garden to get a bird's eye view and he sees the trail of a toad like jumping through tall grass, and he follows it until he gets to the border of the Unseelie Kingdom. And then he turns back to go tell Obi because he's not going to enter that kingdom without permission. Back at the Toad Pond, Leena not having a good time. So Thad is trying to starve her into submission, which that doesn't work, my guy. You just get a hangry bitch.
I was going to say, you're stacking the deck against yourself.
Exactly. You just get a hangry bitch on your hands. And when she starts getting mouthy with him, Mama Toad like smacks her around. We're not having a good time at all. No. But there are fish in this pond who have seen what has happened to her. And they are like, fuck this. So they decide to chew through the stem of her lily pad and set it free on the pond. She thanks them for it, but she's like, what do I do now? I can't steer this thing and I'm terrified of water. And they're just like, good luck. Have fun storming the castle, And she floats toward the edge of this pond into a tributary which feeds into a larger river, and she starts going faster and faster, and again she cannot control herself. She thinks she's going to die. She's starting to come up on like rapids. Now the thing is, when you remember that she's itty bitty, this is probably a very gentle lily pad ride down a cute little like a cute little stream.
I don't even know if she could break surface tension on the water.
Like
swear. She falls and then just goes poof.
It just sits on the water, exactly, like a water bug. But yeah, so from her perspective, this is terrifying whitewater rapids on a lily pad. But from our perspective, it's a gentle lily pad floating down a trickling stream. Either way, though, so she's scared shitless. And then a butterfly flies up next to her, and it's fucking Prince Butterflower. Deus Ex Butterfly showing up, and he's like, why are you so scared? And she's like, I can't swim. I'm gonna die. And he's like, no, you're not. Here, take the ribbon off of your dress. I'll hold it in my mouth like a bit, and you can hold on to me like reins. And they basically make a weird flying lily pad carriage thing happen. And he guides through the rapids, the rocks, the little trickling stream until she is safely on the other side. And then he pulls her to the edge of the stream until she can get out, vaguely swim. Yeah. To some degree, crawl up on some rocks and like pass out. She's covered in algae and she's exhausted and she's had this huge adrenaline dump. And so she just starts to fall asleep. And Lord Butterflower is like, good luck, bye. Because he's got business. He's got to go do something in the Unseelie Court. He's got business. So he can't stay here. So he just goes away. Back at the palace, we bop back and forth a lot.
I'm going to stop you right there, though, because I want to give an update. We've been recording for 26 minutes, and I just did something. You saw it. I just did something that we've never done in like the 100 and whatever episodes. I took my headphones off.
Yes, you did.
I took my headphones off because for a split second, I was just sitting there listening to you talk, and I like Billy Pilgrimed for a second, and then I was like, I thought I was listening to the episode as it was happening, and
the edibles are kicking in, folks.
So I had to take so I'm taking the headphones off.
Nice. I love it.
All right, let's go.
I love it. Okay, so back at the palace, Obi is stressed out. Leena has been gone for over a day at this point. Sparrow just came back with the news that she's somewhere in the Unseelie Kingdom. He sends Sparrow back out with permission to cross that border. But before he leaves, he says, when you return, I would like to discuss you becoming both the head of the guard and the personal royal guard for Leena and myself. And Sparrow says, we can talk about it for sure. Don't worry, I will find her. And Obi says, I know you will. You love her too. And he just confronts this reality, this emotional reality head on. He knows that Sparrow is in love with Leena. And right now, it doesn't matter. He just wants Sparrow to find Leena.
Yeah, we'll cross that.
We'll cross that so much later. Sparrow leaves head full of so many thoughts. He thinks about all the reasons why he left, and he flies off to go and continue his journey. Dianthe then slinks back into the throne room again, and she kind of simpers for him, and she tries to charm him. He asks her if she knows a toad shifter that lives on the border of the Unseelie Kingdom, and she's like, oh yeah, those guys, they're not nobody likes them. And they wouldn't be missed, right?
They can't sit here.
They can't sit with us. And then she asks, this is when she asks if maybe she left of her own free will to go and be with the toads, which again, redneck toads, king of the flower people. I don't fucking know, but sure. And she just badgers him and badgers him and badgers him until he is forced to admit that yes, by the strictest definition of possibility, she could have, and that's the smallest crack that Dianthe needs to start worming her way in. It's never made explicitly clear through the text of the book. It seems like Dianthe is magically poisoning him somehow, seducing him in ways that make him feel like he's going crazy. Yeah, it's really intense and kind of scary. Anyway, so back out in the woods, Sparrow has this flying freak out thing because Obi has confronted the emotional stuff, but he allows all of that confusion and sadness and everything to morph into anger. So when he lands at this toad hovel, he follows the toad path all the way to the hovel. He hears Thad and his mother inside arguing about whose fault it was that Leena whose fault it was that Leena left. It's your fault because you tried to starve her into submission. It's your fault because you smacked her in the face. And that's all he.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I know, right?
Yeah, you don't do that.
Hit girls.
You don't hit girls. You don't honk at girls.
So that's all Sparrow needs to hear to see red. He picks up an axe that's just leaning nearby, kicks the door in, and slices these toads apart. Just pieces. And then he collects Mama Toad's humerus and Thad Toad's toe as trophies.
Okay.
The toe is to give to Leena.
Tofi.
So the toe is to give to Leena to prove that he killed her kidnapper. And the humerus is to give to Agnes because frog bones got to be worth something, right? Log bones got to be good for something in magic.
Yeah. Fucking put in a spell or a stew. I don't know. Sure.
Yeah. So he got no information beyond the fact that Leena is no longer here. So he goes out to the pond to see if he can see anything, finds a fish. He goes to report back to Obi everything that he has learned about all this, but he has hit a dead end. There's nothing else that they can do. Leena has now been missing for about 2 days. on the bank of the river before she has a chance to really even catch her breath. Leena, so she's laying out on this rock. She's got like algae in her hair and she's like, and then she hears, and she is snatched up by a beetle. Big old beetle just grabs her. He's like, oh, a pretty girl. I bet she wants to be my wife. And he just fucking takes her.
Okay. Oh, God.
What the fuck? Seriously, he just snatches her up and he takes her to his house where he lives with his sister.
Fucking Beatles, man.
And he's like, this is my new wife. And his sister's like, no, she's fucking not.
You can't just do that,
No,
Jerry.
Not because of that. She's ugly.
Oh.
Like, you can't marry this ugly fucking thing. She doesn't even have wings. How are you going to marry some bitch who doesn't even have wings, Sterling? His name is Sterling. And between his sister bitching at him and Leena just trying to reason with him, he's like, fine, I won't marry her then. He picks her up and he takes her to an oak tree nearby and he just drops her. He's like, have a good life, bitch. And
Fucking lame.
So fucking weird, though. Why do all these people think they can just pick a bitch up and she's going to be their wife now?
Because
like,
she's so tiny.
Physically pick her up.
I've often said that. I would hate being a cat.
I know. Because
Just walking around, just sitting there licking your ass, and all of a sudden somebody picks you up and is just like throwing you over their shoulder and patting you on the back. And you're like, I am in the middle of my fucking bath.
For real. Bonnie, our cat Bonnie is sitting right here. I would like to offer an apology to you. I'm going to do it again, though. So it's a worthless apology because apologies mean nothing if changed behavior doesn't follow.
Dead-eyed stare.
She's like, I don't care.
Oh, I could not care.
I don't give a fuck.
Wow.
We have weird accents for our animals. Bonnie sounds like she's from
here.
From here. She has my accent, but just really hard. Yeah. Okay, so Leena gets dropped off at this tree by this beetle who is not her husband.
Oh, that's right. The beetle and the purloined princess.
Seriously. And she's like, okay, well, it's getting dark. I can't stay here. I can't stay out in the open like this. She finds one of those like arching tree roots with some space underneath it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? She crawls in under there, makes a little bed out of dead grass, puts a leaf up.
Must be nice.
Yeah. And makes a very efficient shelter for one night.
I did not enjoy the one night or 2 nights I slept in a hole.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's not fun. I would not. I am a fucking princess. I don't even want to go camping unless I have very specialized sleeping stuff. Because like the ground, no, thanks. So Leena sleeps fine. She wakes up the next morning and she looks at her little makeshift shelter and she's like, you did a pretty good job, kid, but you can't stay here. So she starts walking, trying to find a more permanent shelter for herself. In the meantime, Sparrow and Obi go out together to continue the search. Obi has said he's gonna leave the palace for 1 week to go and help with the search. If the search isn't concluded or if they don't find her by that time, then they'll come back. He's got kingly shit to do, but they're going to be out for a week. So they follow the path of the toad back to the toad hovel, but find that it is now burnt to the ground. And Sparrow's like, that weren't me. I didn't do the arson part. I did the murdering part, but I didn't do the arson.
I'll cop to the killing.
Yes.
But I didn't start the fire. Sorry.
And they realize that there's a weird smell. They identify this smell as belonging to the other person who must have been involved in the kidnapping and then the subsequent arson to cover their tracks. They then follow the path of the tributary out onto the river and find the lily pad by some rocks and a ribbon sitting there. And they're like, well, what the fuck happened here then?
What's this happy horse shit?
I don't know. And thankfully, Lord Butterflower comes flapping by and is like, are you guys still looking for Leena? I left her here yesterday. But then as I was flying away, a beetle took her. I had other business to attend to, so I could not assist with that. But
you couldn't send a fucking text?
There's your next clue. Right? So then they fly off in search of the beetles, but they have no luck that day, and eventually they make camp for the night. They share a meal They talk about the search. They talk about Agnes's sort of like witchy premonition that they're going to find Leena and she's going to be fine. They talk a little bit about the ethics of stealing the body parts of your victims as trophies. But then eventually they get to Sparrow's feelings about Leena, and maybe more importantly, Sparrow's feelings about Obi. And Obi's entirely reciprocal feelings about Sparrow. Like it doesn't take much. As soon as the floodgates open, they're open.
They're down to fuck. Let's
exactly.
go.
So now that they are away from the castle and being vulnerable, yeah, they're willing to admit that they are desperately in love with each other. Obi has been in love with Sparrow for just as long as he has been in love with Leena, and vice versa.
So they're down to fuck and be in love.
Yes. And now that Sparrow is back in the kingdom, they have admitted their feelings to each other. Obi would love nothing more than for all three of them to be together, assuming that that's what Leena wants as well. Otherwise, well, fuck, this is going to get complicated, but we'll figure it out later. Obi then leans in to kiss Sparrow, who kisses him back, and then they fucking explode. And it's all like tongues and frantic nudity, and Sparrow throwing Obi onto his bedroll, and then we actually fade to black. We don't get that scene. Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Bummer.
Not all of the sex is actually on page in this one. It's sort of a 50-50 split. I would go ahead and say this book is maybe a 2 on the chili pepper scale, 2.5 at most. But that doesn't detract from the story. It's just what spice level you're going to be into, right?
Did it seem like it was heading towards like boners and body slams, like levels of aggression, or or just, you know,
that felt like it was gonna be like Jake and Heath on the mountain in Brokeback.
Okay, yeah,
like
passionate but not aggressive.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
The next morning, they wake up. They're very happy. They have like a morning after snuggle and appreciation of each other. And then they fly off in search of the beetle who may have taken Leena. And eventually, they find him when they spot 2 beetles arguing in a tree. Like, these guys have such sibling rivalry. They've probably been fighting since the moment he came back from dropping Leena off. So they swoop in and they confront the beetles, and Sterling confirms that, yeah, he did take her because he thought she'd make a good wife, but then she didn't. Like, it's a whole fucking thing. Anyway, I took her over to that oak tree over there. You happy now? And then Sparrow just transforms into full bird mode and eats both of the beetles. He's like, I just didn't like them, and fuck them, and he ate them.
I was hungry anyway.
Seriously. And then he transforms back into normal sized little sparrow guy, and they fly off to continue their search. I'm
trying to save money. I didn't feel like paying for takeout.
So they follow the beetles' information to the oak tree, which eventually leads them to Leena's temporary tree root situation.
Wait. So he ate them before he found her?
Yeah.
Like, what if they got it wrong?
I know.
Whoa.
I know.
Big risk.
Huge. But he doesn't necessarily make calculated decisions when he's angry. He just kills frogs and eats beetles. That's just what he does. Axe murdering frog, beetle eating bastard.
If you ever see me wince and it looks like I'm in pain, it's because I'm trying very hard not to laugh to give myself a potential clean edit on a cold open.
Oh. Thanks.
So if you see me go like this 7 times in an episode, wow, you were really funny.
That's so nice for me. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So the trail ends at this spot, Leena's temporary shelter, which she is no longer in, and they don't know which direction she went in. They have been gone for the allotted amount of time that Obi said he would be gone, and he needs to go back to the palace now because winter is coming, and nothing is more dangerous than the cold to people who are this big.
Yeah, no shit. To them, an eighth of an inch of a dusting is fucking ice age.
Yeah, exactly. And so he has to go back to the kingdom. There is a lot of preparation to be done to make sure that all of his subjects are safe for the winter. Yeah. But he is not happy about it, and he gets more and more fucked up the longer he is there by himself. But so they return to the castle together first and collapse into bed just to sleep for the night. They're both exhausted. The next morning, Sparrow sneaks into the shower to get himself cleaned up before he heads back out. But Obi wakes up and comes into the the shower with him and seduces him. And this is on page sex this time. So
here we go.
Yeah. So Sparrow sucks Obi's cock, and then Obi fucks Sparrow. There was no need for prep of any kind, and we're just going to chalk that up to being fairies.
Fucking fine, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. They finish together. It's kind of a desperate, not sad, but like aching kind of sex, longing. They're very sad because their woman that they love is not there, and they've tried so hard to find her and they failed at it, and this is sort of sex as solace. So neither of these guys is doing very well right now. Leena has been gone for too long for either of their liking, and they both feel personally responsible for it. Through their investigation, they have now learned that an Unseelie had something to do with her kidnapping, but they don't know who that Unseelie was. They just know that Thad couldn't have possibly acted on his own because he was stupid.
Yep.
Sparrow then leaves to continue on the search for Leena as soon as he's rested and resupplied, and Obi stays to continue to prepare for winter and generally kind of be king, I guess. Back to Leena. So ever since she set up home, ever since she left her temporary shelter, she has been searching for a place that can be more permanent, and she finds a hollow fallen log, probably something that's pretty small, and she kits that out into a more permanent shelter. She puts moss inside to act as a bed. She closes off one end and then adds a door to the other. And now she is going to stay put. This little log is right by the river, or right by a river or some form of water, and some berry bushes and herb plants. There's food, there's water, there's shelter. She's going to stay put now because if somebody's going to find her, she can't keep moving. She's not exactly thriving in this place, but she's doing okay. The next time we meet her, though, she's waking up from a nightmare and she's in the middle of a panic attack. She's like pretty much... You've had a panic attack, yes?
Several.
Yeah. So you can't, your vision kind of goes out. You don't really know what's happening around you sometimes. Like there's a whole sort of lack of senses thing that comes with it.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is feeling all of that and having the tightness of breath thing, and all of that's happening. And she swears she can kind of hear a voice somewhere coming from far away that's trying to help her, but she can't get to it. Eventually she ends up crawling out of her log and trying to take some deep breaths of the cooler air outside, but that doesn't really help, and she ends up going back inside and passing out from exhaustion. But there again is a voice, and it's telling her that everything is going to be okay. When she wakes up the next morning, there's a cool cloth on her forehead and a very lovely field mouse shifter named Violet taking care of her. Violet heard Leena having the nightmare and found her mid-panic attack. She sat with her all night. She talked to her. She tried to coach her through it. Violet stays with Leena until she is absolutely sure that she is going to be okay. So for most of the day, she stays there. She offers Leena a place at her house when the winter comes because she's not going to make it in this little log. That's not going to be enough. I had a little trouble keeping track of time in this book because she used a couple of different methods of telling time.
Okay.
We went by days sometimes. We went by moon cycles sometimes. We went by weeks sometimes.
Souls.
I chalk it up to, we'll just call it Fae time or whatever. But I think by now, Leena's been gone 10 or 11 days.
Okay.
She's been gone for a while. And we are coming up on the very end of autumn. So pretty soon, shit's going to hit the fan in terms of the weather. Sparrow has been gone ever since the morning where he and Obi had sex before he left again. Obi is losing his shit. He is drinking too much. He is short-tempered. He is sort of hazy and out of focus. He keeps having these big emotional outbursts, and Dianthe is there all the time, kind of in his ear, talking shit about Leena sometimes, other times just trying to help him run his kingdom and make sure everything is ready. She's really wormed her way in, in a kind of insidious way, right? She wanders into the throne room one day and questions his feelings for Leena and his insistence that she is still alive after all this time. And she suggests that in the very near future, he is going to need to choose to marry someone else for the good of his kingdom.
I mean, look, after a certain amount of time, you just got to move on.
She's been gone for like 2 weeks, brother.
2 weeks.
I
come
mean,
on.
for real.
Shit or get off the pot.
So He sends her away. He's pissed off about her suggestion, but ultimately he's angry because he knows that's true. As king, he has only so much time before he has to make a choice, like a different choice. Also, I just realized something. They're so little. I wonder how long their lifespans are.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe this is a very long amount of time.
That's an excellent question.
I never really thought about it that way. Anyway, so all of the pressure has been getting to him after all of this time of Leena being gone and Dianthe in his ear. Eventually, he just goes to bed, gets drunk, and falls asleep.
We stand a king.
Right? On the day of the first snow, however far that is into the future, again, Obi drinks himself into oblivion to avoid his fears that neither one of his partners is coming home now, because the cold is no more good for a sparrow than it is for a little person, like a tiny lady.
Okay, we can't stand that behavior.
Leena leaves her log home to go to Violet's, and she walks out in a blizzard. What does a blizzard mean to a tiny person? I don't know. But it's super cold, super windy. The snow is thick. On her way there, she barely makes it, and it's not that far. She thinks she hears somebody calling her name, but she looks up and the snow is too thick to see anything, and she thinks maybe it was just the wind. She's not really sure, and she can't feel her feet anymore, so she better just get to Violet's house and not worry about it. Violet opens the door for her, and she is welcomed into her home, which is underground, under a small, I think, a little tree, a much smaller tree.
Violet's the field mouse. Correct?
Violet, the field mouse shifter. Okay. Yes. Lives in a lovely underground apartment next door to Mr. Doyle Mole, who is a crotchety guy who he's probably the same age as the rest of them, but he acts like a grandpa, you know?
Oh,
he's that kind of guy.
Yeah.
And he doesn't go above ground because he's a mole. He would rather never see the sunlight. Violet helps take care of him because otherwise he probably wouldn't be able to take care of himself very well in that way. He digs a series of tunnels. That's what he does with his time.
You got to.
Yep. And Violet lives in an offshoot of one of those tunnels.
I'm going to stop you right there because you said tunnels, and that's enough of an opening to ask this question that I've been thinking about, which is the little creatures.
Yes.
They know how little they are in relation to the world they inhabit.
I'm sure they do.
Right,
yes.
right. So to that end, I would love it if just once somebody who did content with little like creatures like that in it, I would love to know what their system is for measuring things.
Oh,
like we just like, even in fantasy world, they'll still say, 100 meters out is the army. But what if it's
if you're that big, how do you measure something?
So what do the creatures that are that small? Is there a standardized unit of measurement for non-standard sized creatures? Yeah.
Is there something small enough that its form could be standardized to be used as a
right? But to them it would probably just be like the hands for horses. Yeah, they would just come up with some measurement based off their relative size to the world.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to think of. It's fucking crazy, and I love it.
So the animals are working for both of us.
Yes. But we can't go off on a speculative sci-fi rant right now.
But let's stay focused.
We're almost done.
We're
getting close. So the voice that Leena heard when she was walking in the blizzard was Sparrow, who thought he saw a tiny figure on the ground through the snow with his bird eyes, right? Yep. But he called out to her and she couldn't hear, and he couldn't get down to her in time because he's fighting his own way through the snow and wind. He's a tiny bird who shouldn't be flying in these kind of conditions anyway.
Got them little bird bones.
He does. He got them tiny little bird bones. So he flies down toward where he sees what he thinks is Leena, but watches this figure disappear into a door in a hole in the ground, which means at least that she is safe. If indeed it is Leena, she's safe inside somewhere, but he is now going down in this blizzard. He can't maintain his stability. He tries to land, but he gets caught by a gust and slammed onto the ground.
And again, bird bones,
exactly. And before he can even really take stock of his own injuries, the ground underneath him crumbles and he falls even further into one of Mr. Mole's tunnels, and then he loses consciousness. Leena stays with Violet and Mr. Mole for 2 days, just getting acclimated, finding her footing here. She helps take care of of Doyle when he needs help with something. She helps Violet cook. They enjoy meals together. And every night after dinner, Doyle takes them out into the tunnels just to show them his work. Yeah. Look at all the stuff I did. Look at it. It's so fucking cool, right? This tunnel over here, and then there's this tunnel over there. It's no different than you showing me Gundams or somebody else's husband showing them trains.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
On the second day of tunnel exploration, he takes them to one of his older tunnels that he has closed off because he fears that it will collapse soon and it's not safe until he can have a chance to reinforce it. When he opens the door, they find that the tunnel has collapsed and there's rocks and snow everywhere. And Leena smells the distinct smell of Sparrow. They all have their own individual aroma. I'm not really going into it that much, but Sparrow has a distinct smell and she smells it. And she's like, oh my God, is that really you? Holy shit. And she runs into this collapsed tunnel while Violet and Doyle are like, stop, crazy lady.
And here's an introduction to another one of my favorite tropes, like in Ant-Man, when he's fighting the villain and they're in the train and they're tiny. I love when they go close and it's like bam, 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 but then they zoom out. That's what I'm imagining right now. It's a little tiny mole tunnel, but she's like clambering through the rubble and somebody's walking by and they might see like little speck.
Exactly. Yes, that's exactly what's happening. So she's in the mole tunnel and she calls out. She's like, Sparrow, is that you? And she hears someone talking and she finds him still in his bird form. He's been here for 2 days. He's huddled up in the corner. His wings are broken. He's got like exposed bones and lost feathers.
Damn,
it's
bird
just
bones.
bad. I know. Damn bird bones. It's just bad, right? She has Doyle put him on his back and carry him to Violet's house, where they then put him on the couch to convalesce. And when he eventually wakes up, Leena is there. He has shifted back into his more humanoid form now that he's healed enough, and they reunite. It's a really lovely little scene for a moment. He tells her that both he and Obi were out looking for her. Yes, both of them, because they
wink.
Because they both love her, and when he gets her home, he'll kill whoever hurt her, and he just needs to know what happened to her, and she just isn't ready to talk about it. Every time she kind of thinks about what happened to her, she has a panic attack, and she doesn't know how to deal with that yet, so she's just been avoiding the whole thing. She's busy just getting safe with Violet, right? He says that when she's ready to talk about it, please come and find him. Then she goes out and talks to Violet for a little while. There's a really lovely scene of Violet teaching her a technique to help ground herself when she's having those moments, in hopes that she'll be able to hopefully have this conversation pretty soon. But until then, nobody is going to push her on the subject. Sparrow needs to recover. He's pretty fucked up. Yeah. And even though he's in humanoid form again, I think all his little bird bones are still broken.
Yeah.
So he has to stay convalescing for several days before he can even walk.
I have to interrupt because there's something that's driving me insane. So Obi is supposed to marry Leena.
Yes, he is.
Right. But as far as Leena knows, they're totally monogamous. So hasn't Obi functionally cheated on Leena?
Yes.
At this point.
Yes.
Okay.
They do get to, like, they have a conversation about that later.
Okay, good. Okay.
It's not, there's no drama about it. No feelings are hurt or anything, but he does tell her. They don't keep it a secret.
Because I feel like, I mean, this is me. I feel like me being me specifically, I'd be like, we have to address this right now. I need to put this out there.
Yeah.
Okay, we can deal with all the other shit.
Yeah. I don't know what the Fae world is like.
Nor do I.
Nobody seemed upset by any of this, right? It was
cool.
Great. So they spend several days, I guess, living in Violet's home. Sparrow is healing from his injuries, and Leena is like doing whatever she can to be useful and grateful while they wait this storm out. When Sparrow has enough strength back, Leena asks if he will go for a walk in the tunnels with her so that they can have a private conversation. When they do that, she asks about his feelings for her and Obi's feelings about the situation. Like she assumes that Obi's acceptance of the situation is a brotherly affection kind of thing. Like I just need to get my bearings in all of this, right? We need to have a conversation. And he's like, oh, my sweet queen, no. We definitely fucked. And then she's like, kiss me. Like it's all completely fine. Like color her intrigued.
All right.
Because next thing you know, they are making out and he's fingering her.
I'm not. Oh,
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
I edited out
the part where you almost died.
The part where I almost died, but thank you for helping me clear what I hope is one of the last vestiges of whatever is plaguing me.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
That was a productive hack.
Good. Good, I'm glad. So yeah, he fingers her in this tunnel.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I did. Exactly. To a much needed orgasm. She's like, thank you. I've needed to come for a long time.
But where is she? Where are they?
In a tunnel?
Which could be considered a liminal space.
Oh, a liminal space.
A diddle in a liminal space. Calling back to episode 1.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's one of the first jokes we ever made.
It was literally the first joke.
Wow. Oh my god. Okay, yeah.
Having
the
a
edibles are
diddle.
kicking in. For sure.
Yeah.
For both of
let's
us.
go.
Let's finish this up.
Again, I said let's go the last time carry on.
Once they are finished and she's righted herself, she asks him to move into her room with her in Violet's apartment. And he's like, yeah, absolutely, for sure. On their way back to Violet's, they run into Doyle in the tunnels, who's like, yeah, you were just talking, for sure. And Doyle is on his way to Violet's, he says, because he's going to invite her over for dinner. He made dinner for her so that he could ask her to marry him.
Aww.
It's so fucking cute, Doyle. That's adorable.
It's so perfect because your tunnels are her size.
I know, right?
And you're, aw.
So, when they get back to Violet's apartment, serendipity, Violet has accidentally burned her dinner, which means she should go to Doyle's house and eat the dinner that he made.
You got to.
And, Leena and Sparrow aren't very hungry. Sparrow just went for a walk and he's really tired now anyway. So you guys go and have your dinner. And eventually we learn that they are going to get married. So she accepted his proposal, which is adorable. A mole. A mole. And a cute little...
Yeah, not the kind you should have checked.
No.
Although I suppose you could have what if you had a mole that you should get checked, but it was like oddly cute? Like it was like, oh, it looks like Pikachu, and you don't want to get it checked, but it's slowly killing you.
Oh, no. That's horrible.
I know.
Okay.
Wish I hadn't said it.
Me too. I wish you would cut it out.
Not gonna.
Okay.
I didn't.
You didn't?
Nope.
Okay, good to know.
Still in here.
So after Doyle and Violet leave for their dinner proposal, Leena and Sparrow finally have their talk. Leena is ready to talk about what happened to her, and she tells him that on her way to see Obi, an unseelie woman named Dianthe and a toad shifter named Thad kidnapped her with the express intent that Dianthe could then insert herself into the queenhood and marry Obi herself.
Busted.
Right? And she is terrified because she's been gone long enough that she feels like that might actually happen. She understands Obi's... Again, I don't know how time works in the Fae realm.
Obviously.
But she is concerned that eventually Obi's obligations as king will have him choose to marry somebody else. And Sparrow's like, no, he loves you. When we get back, you'll see he's not going to be with anybody else. Trust me. Okay. We both love you very much. They wait out the weather until Sparrow is healed and they are able to travel. I don't know exactly how long it has been since she is first disappeared, but it's been long enough that the kingdom is concerned, Agnes is concerned, and Obi is not okay. On the night before Leena and Sparrow intend to travel back to the castle, they are now sharing a room and they fuck.
You can find us on social media.
And they have a lovely time. We take a break to have a nice fuck.
What? Are you not stopping and fucking every now and then?
What? You don't fuck your girlfriend sometimes?
Are you not fucking?
Are you not fucking your partner?
Are you not fucking your partners? Huh?
Fuck. Anyway.
So married.
Too married. In this scene, Sparrow helps Leena find some of her more queenitude attitude in the bedroom. It was a fun scene. I enjoyed it very much. But it was a pretty basic missionary fuck. Yeah. The next day, they return to the kingdom. Sparrow drops Leena off at Agnes's house and then goes to find Obi. And when he finds him, he is in the throne room, sitting on his throne, and Dianthe is sitting on the queen's throne, and he is like, get your skinny ass out of that fucking chair. Like, I thought he was gonna snatch her eyeballs out. I don't know. He was so mad.
Boink.
Exactly. But so she leaves, and Sparrow tells Obi to come to Agnes's cottage in an hour. He doesn't trust Dianthe. He doesn't want to be anywhere near her. As long as she's in the palace, you need to go to Agnes's house, okay? At Agnes's, Leena and Obi are reunited, and after their kisses and embraces, she tells him about Dianthe, the woman who kidnapped her, and he's like, that fucking cunt. The guys want to just kill her.
Yeah.
But Leena isn't really about that death penalty life. And she convinces them to just stay away from her until they can figure something else out. And they do eventually defer to her, that they're not fucking happy about it. They know that she's the most morally upright of them. So fine, you can make the choice not to kill the bitch, goddammit. Okay.
I know the very distinct feeling of knowing that I am not the most moral person in the room. It's uncomfortable.
Oh. But it's good to know about yourself, right? That doesn't make you a bad person.
No, it's just like, ooh, I thought I was better than this.
Ooh.
I don't look forward to unpacking this.
Oh, no. So that night, after they're reunited and everybody feels so much better now, the guys go back to the palace because they both have been seen there by Dianthe, so they need to be there and act normal. And Leena stays the night with her mom, and they talk about her ethical dilemma. What do? I think I want to banish her, but I can't figure out how to banish a fairy, right? Like, they have magic. I'll have to figure it out. So the next day, both Obi and Sparrow go with Leena back to Violet's house to prepare for the wedding to Doyle. They fly the distance on Sparrow's back. So Sparrow is full bird mode. And then Violet's in the front and Obi's in the back. And they're sort of riding him like a horse.
And reimagining the Monty Python joke. Is it a laden sparrow or an unladen sparrow?
Oh, my God. Exactly. So he's a laden sparrow, apparently. Super laden because so this is what they do, right? They have made a plan to play with her while they fly. I know, right? So Obi gets a hand under her skirts and fingers her, and Sparrow hums really loudly so that his back vibrates. And she's like grinding on his back. The shit was insane. I fucking loved it.
I love you.
It was nuts.
I love you. But if you were like, let me grind on your back.
Your bird back.
Your bird back. Hey, baby, let me grind on your bird back.
Exactly. Huh. Yes. Huh. No thanks. But so she's loving it, but they edge her all the way to their destination. They don't let her come. And when they land, they are at her temporary or more permanent log home that she had for those few days. They go back to it again. And this is where they're going to stay for the night. So they're gone back to Violet's neighborhood and they're staying in a hotel before they go to her wedding the next day, basically is what's happening. And they get inside this log. The moss that she was sleeping on has now taken root really well. So there's like this big cushy bed for them to fuck on. Mm-hmm. And, they get to it pretty fast. Everybody's stripping off, kissing, touching, pinching, doing whatever. They have her pick a safe word, and she's like, nothing Obi and I have ever done before has needed a safe word. What are we gonna do now? There's an edge of excited terror to it, right?
Magic show.
So what's gonna happen? A double vaginal penetration is what is going to happen, sweetie. That's exactly what they do, and they all have a fabulous time, though. No worries. They do it appropriately, safely, slowly until everybody's just fucking flying. Everybody has a great time. They spend the night in the log, and they head to Violet's house the next day to find a much bigger party than originally intended has broken out, because word of how Violet and Doyle helped Sparrow and Leena has gotten out, and now everybody wants to thank them back, or thank them for doing it by partying with them. And like Madame Spider has come out to make a gown for Violet, who would never in a million years would ever get to wear a Madame Spider gown, you know. And now, holy shit, the king's here, you know, like it's a big fucking deal, and they have a wonderful time at this party. It's a beautiful celebration. When they go back to the castle, Leena has finally made a decision about what to do with Dianthe. She tells the guys her plan, and they do not agree with it at all. But, well, you said I could pick, and I'm picking. So do I get choices or do I not get choices? And they're like, God damn it, you're right. Fuck. Okay. So she gets everything that she needs set up with her mother, the witch, because what they end up doing is inviting Dianthe to a formal dinner the following evening, where they have surreptitiously put a potion of imprisonment in her water glass. So when they activate it, she's turned into like this weird green mist and sucked into a glass bottle. Oh. And that's where she is now. She's like imprisoned in the what, that weird flat dimension.
The Phantom Zone?
The Phantom Zone. She's in the Phantom Zone now, but for fairies. The Fairy Zone. And that's the end of it. They're done. The end. They're safe.
Oh, yeah.
2 weeks later, Obi, Leena, and Sparrow celebrate their group wedding. So fairies, they get down. As gifts from various people who love her, Leena is given wings in the shape and style of tulip petals, which is adorable. And then magic, the ability to manifest magical plants with a thought. Agnes and her other friends have given her these things because they feel it's only appropriate now that she is officially the Queen of Flowers. The end. Thank you.
That was so much fun.
I know, right?
But now, you said we wanted to watch the Don Bluth Thumbelina.
Yes.
We should do that
Yes,
tonight.
we should.
Well, no, we can't because I've got softball
You
tonight.
do.
Late
Aw.
softball.
Oh, yeah.
But
we'll watch it at some point.
We'll watch it at some point. Maybe we'll do it Sunday night when you come back.
Mm-hmm.
But the point that I wanted to make about that is now I can't wait to watch it and just go, oh, I remember that in the book.
I remember that part in the book.
I remember that part in the book.
I remember that part in the book. Yeah.
I love that my first experience with Thumbelina
was this.
was
And then you're going to go back and watch this really cute Don Bluth movie with some really fun musical numbers.
Yep.
The Beetle Boys are pretty fun, I got to say. Charo is in that movie, and she sings.
Yes.
It's wonderful. We'll watch it at some point. It's
I'm
great.
sure I'm going to be into it.
Nice job. Nice job.
Thank you. What are you into?
What am I into? Okay, so while I was researching this book through Amazon, I found a truly horrifying gem of smut history, a book called Harem Stud by David Lynn, which was published by an imprint of Greenleaf Publishing called Companion Books Adult Readers.
I feel like this is something like I'm going to be reminded of. I think that I'm going to discover that this was not a Mandela effect thing.
Yes, you're
continue.
probably okay. So this book was published in 1964.
Okay.
It's not great. Like the book itself does not look great. Like the image of the cover is like plane crash in the background, very happy looking white man in the foreground in like native dress with a drum, and two quote unquote native women around him who look to be of completely different ethnicities, but who gives a shit because they're both naked.
It's so blatantly offensive.
It's so offensive.
It's so blatantly offensive that it would be something like a character in a movie would pick up.
Yeah.
To show like, oh my God, we're in an alternate dimension where Germany won.
I know, right? Exactly. The tagline for the book is, "The natives were restless and shameless."
Oh no.
Okay, so that's not a good one. That's icky. That's icky. But
society, no.
In the process of sniffing this milk, I found an amazing website called greenleafclassicsbooks.com, which is an archive of all of the Greenleaf Classic imprints cataloged and cross-referenced by author and imprint and cover artist with scans of the original cover art when available. It's amazing because it's this huge catalog of smut history. It's massive. I have goosebumps. It's just so fucking cool. Like, so you can see all the cover art and get a basic idea of the horrible things that they were cranking out back then. Like the good, the bad, and the ugly of it all is just presented without commentary or footnote, just imprint and information. And there's like a lot of ugly in there. But there's also a lot of good. If you just search the word gay, you will find that they were publishing a lot of queer subversive literature a lot longer ago than you thought. Mm-hmm. And it's just like this incredible treasure trove of human sexual history, of erotica history. And like, there's this really fantastic section of the history of Greenleaf Publishing, where they talk about how Greenleaf fought for years. Like, they kept a First Amendment lawyer on staff to fight obscenity trials over and over and over, until eventually they were forced to shut down in 1974 when they were successfully sued by the federal government for sending erotic images in the mail.
Oh.
Because they sent a pamphlet.
They Al Caponed him.
They did. They Al Caponed him. Exactly. And so they were forced to shutter. The founders spent some time in jail. There were a lot of other really deep, interesting wells to fall down about obscenity and the history, and this website fucking rules. Mm-hmm. But the best part about it is all that cover art is so good just to look at. The amount of art these guys were cranking out every week in a style that I know you really enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm going to find the one. I did find one monster fucker book in there too.
Wow.
Called Swapping with Satan.
Proto monster.
The woman on the cover is most definitely fucking Satan himself. I wish I could have pulled some of them to like post on our socials, but there's no way. These are pornographic images. Oh, also I will say, if you, the listener, wants to go and look at any of these, maybe put a little note in the show notes too. None of these images are like blurred out for content. They are pornographic. Some of them may be disturbing. Some of the content of the books themselves may disturb some people.
I will
be
put that
careful.
in the notes. Yeah, I will put that in the notes. And I think that sounds fast. I love websites like that for anything. Mm-hmm. I'm going to put a bonus link in for the Big Box Collection.
Oh, yeah.
Which is one of my favorite websites to visit just on occasion if I'm bored. If you remember PC games from the late 80s and early 90s, they came in these big boxes with this fantastic art and these big books inside, sometimes with fantastic art, other ephemera. And it's 3D scans that are rotatable where you can see every single, and people just archive it. And that's why I was so fascinated and so thrilled that you said what you said, because I'm afraid that I'm going to cry again when I talk about what I'm into this week. So I'm going to give you the big box collection. Is a bonus link. If you are into art or video games, go check it out. It's a fun time waster. I have been dying to talk about this, but I've been afraid to talk about it because it feels like something you shouldn't be talking about. Mm-hmm. But they have a website, they have social media. People talk about it in the open. Mm-hmm. I'm only going to say the name this one time because I hate saying the name. But it's called Sloppy Second Sales. Mm-hmm. I hate that term. So going forward, I'm going to refer to them as S3. I recently discovered the existence of this company because I was looking into the existence of a physical copy of Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair. The long existing but hard to find 4-hour single edit of Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill as he originally intended it, without the cliffhanger ending at the end of the first part, with the Crazy 88 fight in color, various other changes throughout the film. He finally got the rights to it, and he's only been showing it in one theater in Los Angeles. And there's a part of me that respects that. Because he's often said, I don't want somebody to just be able to go spend $30 on it and throw it on a shelf and never watch it. If you commit to that, you want to really see it. And I was like, there's got to be a way. Sure as shit, there's a way. Sloppy second sales. Damn it, I said it. S3. S3 specializes in out-of-print, rare, hard-to-find films. I mean, it's basically what I'm going to call ethical piracy. Because it's ethical in that they are not charging you for the movie. They are charging you for the basically their time and the material. I got a copy of this film for $9.99. I cannot get to California to go to the Vista and pay whatever it's going to do that. Now, the day after I found it, they announced that it is going to be broadcast or put in theaters for one day, but not necessarily near me. But they have just an amazing trove. I got a physical copy of the brilliant RRR. I got what they call Star Wars Grindhouse. Original work prints, 4K scans of original work prints. So if you want to know what Star Wars looked like in the theater in 1977, I can show you that. If you want to know what Empire looked like in 1980, I can show you that. I have the entire Garth Marenghi Dark Place series, the Drinky Crow series, all of Liquid Television. I got all these fantastic things. There's a movie called Sweet Home. Sweeto Hamo, I think it is pronounced in Japan, Japanese. It's the movie that inspired the game that inspired Resident Evil. You can get your hands on that. It's so fascinating that I'm able to, in this age where everything is becoming digitized and then removed and becoming inaccessible, I now have a way to do this that feels better. I mean, I have to concede that there is I'm an artist, a creator. I understand this could be perceived that way, but there are movies that they only offer things that are out of print. These are not things that you can buy. They are not going to publish. You cannot go out and buy the 5.5-hour work print of Apocalypse Now. They have that for $6.99. I love when humans want to preserve history and art. These projects that want to archive things. I love it. Yes. So I'm so thrilled that you said that. I'm so thrilled that it made me think of Big Box, and I'm so thrilled that it made me think of S3. So all of that said, we have to wrap this up. So what do we have on the agenda for the next episode?
So next time I was going to read a book called Puck Bunny by Liz Shipton, which is a hockey shifter romance with an actual bunny shifter. And that sounded really dope. But then this morning I woke up and taped to my front door was a postcard from this place called Ghostlight Falls. And on the back, it just says next time. And then there's a little drawing of a frog. I don't know what that means.
I don't know how you got to the front door in the morning before me. That's the thing I'm most surprised about.
This is all very concerning.
But
we'll figure it out.
I am sure we will, but in the meantime, you can find us on social media. We are on Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok. All of the links are in our link tree, which is posted down in the show notes. If you would like to communicate with us via email, please do so. cheapsmuttpod@gmail.com. As always, there is a link in the show notes to this book. It is not an affiliate link. We don't get any money for it. I no longer put the link in the link tree. I'm going to try and start pushing that out. If you go there instinctively, it's not there. If you would like to support us financially, you can do so on Ko-fi. We are running an offer right now where if you would like to hear some never before heard episodes to the public, you can, I can't remember what the amount is, but you can go pay for that one-time fee and you can get access to 9 bonus episodes that are previously unheard on the main line.
Absolutely. It's awesome.
The music that you hear in this and every episode is called Storytime by me, Max Joy.
Listeners, remember, if there is a book in you, write it. And if there's fucking in it, I'll read it.
And then she'll come on this show and explain it to me for your entertainment.
But maybe not on a heroic amount of edibles.